There you are. Let's get a new week started. It's December the 4th. Here's what we're working on this morning. Fire crews are battling a large blaze in a residential area in North Burlington.
An 8th Canadian citizen has died as a result of the Israel-Hamas war.
Plenty to talk about from a dramatic Sunday in the National Football League. And that's here. Tim's here. Brian is here.
Brian is here. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian.
Yes. Hey, happy Monday. Another Monday.
Yeah.
Yay.
Let's do it. What a soggy, yucky weekend, wasn't
Oh,
it?
yeah, just gray, foggy. We just couldn't get any sunshine at all.
Drizzly.
Yeah, it was drizzly. You know, I was thinking of you Saturday morning as I was up outside and it was raining, and you usually go for a walk on Saturday morning.
Not this Saturday morning.
Did it?
No.
You
no.
looked outside.
It was like, yeah, we both called it. It was like, no.
You pulled the plug on that. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, because it wasn't a great start to the day and it wasn't a great weekend. Today, well, really no change, actually. We're going to see cloud cover. We're going to have showers, possibly some flurries, could even be some mixing as the day goes on. So because that temperature is not going to be too high today, we're going to sit about 3. 3 shall be the number, and the number shall be 3 for the day today. Where did that come from? I don't know. So yeah, 3 for the day, and that's where we sit right now, as a matter of fact. 3 degrees is our temperature at the moment, so we are above seasonal for an overnight low. All right, we'll talk about the forecast coming up. Checking traffic here this morning at just about 6:02. 403 Waterdown Road. It's getting busy, but it's moving all right, so no collisions at the moment. Let's go to our MTO traffic camera. We do have a disabled vehicle, though, and this is the camera just west of Eastport Drive. So you're looking toward the Skyway Bridge, Toronto bound. We have a vehicle. It's blocking the left lane, left shoulder, whatever shoulder there is in that area, not very much, but left lane is blocked. Emergency crews are there, but as you can see, it's really slowing things down as you approach the Skyway Bridge. That's the only problem that we have at the moment. So we'll look at weather and traffic coming up in a few minutes. Right now, the news.
Got some problems in Burlington, though. Fire crews are battling a large fire in North Burlington. So the fire is on Lodi Road. That's near Walker's Line in Dundas in the city. Multiple properties are reportedly involved in this. Our Simone Galvros is on her way there and is going to have more on the fire as the morning progresses.
A vehicle fire surprised a lot of people on Hamilton's East Mountain, with a lot of neighbors describing it as an explosion. It happened around 8 o'clock last night near Upper Ottawa and Mohawk Road. On social media, neighbors were describing it as hearing a boom and then saw fire crews there. Thick smoke was rising above the burning vehicle. One witness says the vehicle was a food truck that was parked on a neighborhood street. We have reached out to Hamilton Fire and Police for an update to find out if any injuries were reported as well.
Police in Hamilton were asking some people to shelter in place yesterday following an early morning shooting. It was the latest in a string of violent incidents that does have residents saying they just do not feel safe.
I grew up and was born and raised in this city, and it's changed quite a bit.
It scares me. It scares me. Like, I'm not happy about it. Ever since I've been down here, I feel unsafe.
The third day of December, Hamilton saw its 4th incident of violence. Police were called to Radisson Lane in East Hamilton early Sunday after shots were fired. So police say they arrested one suspect for possession of a prohibited weapon. They were searching for another suspect, asking people to stay in their homes, but called off the search several hours later. The incident yesterday followed another shooting late Friday night on Stony Creek Mountain. The man tells us he was in his bedroom when a random bullet came flying through the wall, went through his mattress, and hit him in the arm. He is recovering from the gunshot and said he doesn't know who fired the bullet into his house. A 2-year-old child had been lying on the bed and had just gotten up from the spot moments before the bullet hit. Also on Friday night, police say a male victim, was stabbed in the leg near Lime Ridge Mall, and an 18-year-old man was charged in that one. Police found a 24-year-old man who'd been stabbed in the area of Concession Street and East 34th. He was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. They say they identified the suspect, but there's no word of an arrest.
15-year-old is missing in Oakville this morning. Halton Regional Police say Lucas Harrington was last seen last night near 6th Line and Upper Middle Road in Oakville. He's 5'10" with a slim build and dark brown shoulder-length wavy hair. He's believed to be wearing a black sweatshirt and dark jeans.
Ontario's new Liberal Party has a leader.
This is such an honor. Thank you. Thank you for your faith in me.
And Mississauga Mayor and former Liberal MP Bonnie Crombie won the weekend leadership convention in 3 ballots. Crombie says she will resign as Mississauga Mayor early in the new year, and she plans to rebuild the Ontario Liberals back to official party status. She plans to go head-to-head with Premier Doug Ford in the province's next election, set for 2026.
Global Affairs Canada says a Canadian citizen has died in Lebanon. The department gave no further details, but confirms the death is linked to the Israel-Hamas war. Now, 7 Canadians and a person with deep connections to this country were killed in the initial Hamas-led attack in Israel on October the 7th. 1 Canadian remains missing but has not yet been identified by Global Affairs. The department also says that about 130 more Canadians, permanent residents and eligible family members were able to leave the Gaza Strip through the Rafah border to Egypt over the weekend.
The former lead singer of April Wine, Miles Goodwin, has died. Goodwin was 75. April Wine formed in Halifax in 1969, sold more than 10 million records worldwide. Goodwin's publicist and friend of Morning Live, Eric Alper, says Goodwin had stepped away from the band earlier this year, but continued to perform live until not long before his death.
Well, a new poll finds conspiracy theories are quite popular in this country. The Leger poll of more than 1,500 Canadians found that roughly 5% of those surveyed believe the Earth is flat. 11% believe that Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin did not land on the moon in 1969. Overall, 79% of Canadians surveyed say they believe in at least one of the conspiracy theories mentioned in the survey. There was one that really stood out, though. 55% of people surveyed say that they believe mainstream media manipulates the information that it reports. That's us.
Really? I look better, actually, I think.
Santa coming off a busy weekend in other news.
Did you know that was...
There were visits all over the Golden Horseshoe. Let's check in on him in Burlington, where he was part of the city's parade in his honor yesterday. Kids were encouraged to bring their letters to Santa, which were collected by Canada Post along the parade route. The Burlington Teen Tour boosters were also collecting non-perishable food items in support of the Burlington Food Bank. And on Saturday, Stony Creek held their Santa Claus parade. The Stony Creek Line Club members were walking along that route, collecting donations for the Stony Creek Community Food Bank. Bit of a rainy affair, but there were plenty of smiles along the way, including this guy. Tim was in the CHCH Community Cruiser. I know him.
Shout out to Vicky, who was my driver, along with Jennifer. They were a blast, and we had a lot of fun. So it was great to see a lot of fans of the show.
Yeah.
I was walking alongside the vehicle, but I got stopped and talking to a lot of people, so they were always up and up.
You were walking?
Yes, you got to be with the people.
Oh.
Yeah, you got to get out there and say hello,
No,
and give some hugs and handshakes, and got to kiss the babies, and so it was a lot of fun. So thanks for saying hi, guys. It was fantastic. Good stuff. All right, let's get into sports now, and let's start with the NFL, where the Buffalo Bills had a bye week to get set for the home stretch, but there was a couple of huge matchups, the biggest being in Philadelphia, where the Eagles hosted the 49ers, vying for top spot in the NFC.
Purdy pressure, throws over the middle, caught by Samuel, breaks a tackle, still on his feet, and speed now! Samuel racing to the end zone, and he dives, and he's in!
San Francisco showed why the chase for the top spot in the NFC is not over. That was one of 3 Deebo Samuel touchdowns for the Niners against the talented Eagles defense. Brock Purdy had 4 touchdown passes. Niners thumped Philly in front of their fans on a rainy affair to hand them their only second loss of the season. 42-19 the final. They pulled to within a game of the Eagles at 9-3.
Here come the Chiefs. Pressure's on. Love, throw, end zone, Watson! Oh, did he catch that?
Yeah, it was a beauty catch. Bit of a shocker on the Sunday nighter at Lambeau Field as the Green Bay Packers showed the defending champs they mean business. Jordan Love connected with Christian Watson for 2 of his 3 TD passes and a late non-pass interference call right here. Didn't go the Chiefs' way. The Packers beat Patrick Mahomes and KC 27-19 for their 3rd straight win as their playoff push continues. They're at 6-6. Chiefs move to 8-4 on the year.
Scrambled off the draw. Asadorian scores!
Nice end to a winning weekend for the Niagara Ice Dogs yesterday at the Meridian Center. Mike Levin scored the winner with just under 5 minutes to go against the Peterborough Petes, and they held on for the 2-1 win. Marcus Vandenberg stood tall in the Ice Dog net, making 33 saves. This is the best one right here. Under a minute to go in front of over 4,300 fans in St. Catharines. So this follows a 4-3 overtime win over the Rangers at Kitchener on Saturday. Next up, they host Erie on Thursday nights. Okay, with the baseball winter meetings underway from Nashville, reports are rampant. The Blue Jays are hoping to go big game hunting. The biggest free agent out there is the generational talent in Shohei Ohtani, who the Blue Jays are rumored to be in the mix for. LA Dodgers seem to be the front runners to land Ohtani. The Jays are said to be on the short list, whatever that means. Another big name connected to the Jays, that would be the Padres outfielder Juan Soto, who at only 25 is one of the best young players in the league. This would have to be through a trade, and San Diego would want a big haul coming back. We finish in Vancouver, where something special is happening. The greatest soccer player this country has ever produced will play her final match tomorrow night in her home city. Christine Sinclair, along with her Canadian teammates, got a look at BC Place that has been renamed Christine Sinclair Place for her final match tomorrow against Australia. Canada beat the Aussies 5-0 on Friday with Sinclair subbing in later in the match. Going to be an emotional but special night tomorrow.
12 minutes exactly. There it goes. 12 minutes after 6 o'clock on this Monday, 4th of December. We've had some showers, so pavement is a little bit wet. We don't really have any major problems at the moment. Like here, the 403 at Waterdown Road is still doing fine, so no problems right there. To our MTO traffic cameras, just that one situation is lingering. It's a disabled vehicle, and it's blocking the left lane as you come past Woodward toward west of Eastport here. This is where the camera is, looking toward the Skyway Bridge, so it's Toronto bound, and it's a visual distraction and, of course, a lane reduction right there. Back into St. Catharines, Garden City Skyway, no problems there. Flip ahead to the 403 junction, so Toronto bound coming out of Hamilton, heading away from us toward Brant Street. Looks good there at the Ford plant, and nothing here at Cooksville Creek. Okay, let's see how we're starting the morning now. Temperature right now is 3. 3 is the number this morning. Morning, Russell. I'm glad you got my Monty Python reference earlier. So the winds are fairly light now. They were a lot stronger earlier, but the relative humidity once again is up there at 100% this morning. No problems with air quality today, low risk category both morning and afternoon. 3 degrees is the number for the day today. That's where we're sitting, and that's where we're going to stay throughout the day. And there's that chance of some mixing precipitation. So dress for a cool day today for school, and that wind is going to pick up as well. So what we have is that low pressure system that plagued us throughout the weekend with the gray skies and the fog and the drizzle. It's going to be heading away, but still we can't get out of the cloud cover. Cloud's going to stick around for the day today with that mixing precipitation. Tonight, mainly cloudy. Tomorrow, we'll call it mainly cloudy. We could see a break or two of some sunshine, which would be really nice for a change. So today, yep, cloudy. There's that mixing. Chance of some flurries, chance of some showers as the day goes on. 2 and 3 degrees generally today. Tonight, temperature just dipping into the minus column. -1, -2, wind chill about -3. So not too much there, but a mainly cloudy sky. And then tomorrow, we're looking at, again, not too much change temperature-wise. 2 and 3 degrees, but there's that little bit of sunshine that Hamilton, North Shore of Lake Erie into Niagara could see tomorrow. Otherwise, just a fairly cloudy day again tomorrow. So out the door this morning on this 4th of December, it is mostly cloudy. Temperature, well, feels cool. At least it's not cold. It's cool at 3. Long-range forecast coming up and at 10.
Okay. So no Emily today, so we're going to be handling our own little chit-chat. We're also going to be handling some business news after the break. And big news in the world of airlines, from burnout traffic controllers to a major merger. We'll see you in 2. Here's some numbers to start off your week. Canadian dollar down 28 basis points this morning, sitting at 73.81 cents US. Gold down almost $4, 20.8580. Crude oil off 58 cents, 73.49 a barrel. Off to Europe we go. Hey, Europe, happy Monday. Markets are down in London, up in Frankfurt, and down again in Paris.
In Asia today, the markets were down in Tokyo, Hong Kong, and Shanghai. Checking North American markets, they'll reopen this morning after big gains on Friday, triple-digit gains on the TSX and the Dow.
I'm glad you're with us on this Monday morning, December the 4th. Well, the Bank of Canada will make its latest scheduled interest rate announcement for 2023 coming up on Wednesday. The central bank's key interest rate target sits at 5%. Bank of Montreal chief economist Douglas Porter said last month, I should say, that the October inflation report drives home the point that there was no need for further interest rate hikes. The annual inflation rate slowed to 3.1% in October, down from 3.8% in September.
Industry experts say there's still plenty of growth for plant-based meat products, despite some recent setbacks. Beyond Meat, for example, announced last month it was cutting 19% of its non-production workforce. And in 2021, Maple Leaf Foods said it was reevaluating its plant protein business as growth in the market had slowed. But Robert Carter with Stratton Hunter Group says consumers still want to reduce their meat consumption. He says as economic conditions get better, they will start to show more interest in plant-based meat again.
There's been a major move in the travel industry. Alaska Airlines has come to terms on a deal to purchase Hawaiian Airlines. This according to officials from both companies. So the combined organization will be based in Seattle, but Alaskan Airlines says it will establish a major hub in Honolulu. Price tag, $1.9 billion. Alaska Air announced its plans to buy the airline, Hawaiian Airlines. The agreement between the two former rivals calls for both carriers to hold on to their individual names. Officials say the combined airline will have more than 1,200 departures per day and will be able to compete with bigger airlines like American, Delta, Southwest, and United. The deal could take between 9 and 18 months to work out, and it will need approval from the boards of both carriers and U.S. regulators. The Association of Flight Attendants, that represents thousands of flight attendants for both airlines, issued a statement saying it will be paying close attention to the merger to see if it will improve conditions for their workers.
Still up in the air. A New York Times investigation shows U.S. air traffic controllers are overworked, demoralized, and are at greater risk of making mistakes. The Times interviewed more than 70 current and former air traffic controllers, pilots, and federal officials, while reporters poured over thousands of pages of safety reports and internal records. This report says air traffic controllers and others submitted hundreds of complaints the past couple of years to an FAA hotline. They described staffing shortages, mental health problems, and unpleasant working conditions. The Time also uncovered at least 7 reports of controllers sleeping while they were on duty and 5 complaints about employees working under the influence of alcohol or drugs. The Times reported last August that while U.S. airspace is remarkably safe, close calls have happened, and on average, they're happening several times a week in this past year. Now, a spokesperson for the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, says the story doesn't reflect the high level of safety in the United States airspace, quote, adding, quote, that flying has never been safer, due in large part to our air traffic controllers.
Okay, off and running on your Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. Glad you're with us this morning. Brian's going to be back right after the break, taking a look at on how you can get to work and what the forecast is looking like for the upcoming week, the first full week of December.
Getting into this Monday morning, 6:20, just about 6:24 here. So we're the 4th of December. We still have this disabled vehicle. It's not a collision, just a disabled vehicle as you head toward the Skyway Bridge coming out of Stony Creek. So the camera is just west of Eastport, looking toward the base of the Skyway. You can see the left lane is blocked through here. Not only a visual distraction on the other side, but it's one lane is blocked through there. Back into St. Catharines, Garden City Skyway, nothing to see. We'll flip ahead to the other side of the Burlington Skyway. This is the North Shore Boulevard camera. Doing okay still so far. Third line looks good. Erin Mills Parkway, no problems at the 403 coming up from the Ford plant at Burnham Thorpe. So looking good. Temperature at the moment. Temperature right now, 3 degrees is actually above a seasonal daytime high. So we're on the mild side this morning, you could say. 3 Hamilton, Grimsby, Toronto, 2 for Mississauga. Speaking of seasonals this time of year are 2 for the daytime high, -5 for the overnight low. Those are our sun times and records. And yeah, we're looking at some mixing precipitation possible today. Going into school this morning for first bell, possible flurries and temperature about 2. And then coming home after school, going to drop to 2 from a high of 3 today and fairly cloudy. And yep, the clouds are going to be with us throughout the day with that chance of flurries or even some showers. So -1 tonight, wind chill -3. Tomorrow again 3 degrees, a mainly cloudy sky, but at least we could see a bit of sunshine tomorrow. Finally, more sunshine on Wednesday. Temperature dips a bit to 0. 3, 5, and 7. So it stays on the mild side as we get through Thursday, Friday. It looks like fairly cloudy and damp on the weekend to come. That's your forecast. Annette, Tim.
Thanks, Brian. So yeah, winter isn't officially here yet, and we haven't seen the snow started to pile up, but you know it's coming.
And here's a prize that might make clearing your walks and driveways a little easier. It's called a thrower blade and attaches to the front of your snowblower, and the blade does all the work without clogging your blade. To enter a contest to win it, head to chch.com/morninglivegiveaways.
So I'm giving this a test run today.
Over at Harry Howell Arena.
Because that's the only place you can
Yes.
find snow at this point, because they'd be dumping out the Zamboni ice, the snow.
Wouldn't that snow be full of water, though?
No, it is snow.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. If you ever go by an arena this time of the year,
There's always the pile
there's
of it,
always
yeah.
the piles of snow.
Yeah.
So, well, I haven't been over there, so I guess we'll test it out and we'll have that for you tomorrow.
Yeah.
How about this? A farmer in Tennessee has been rescued from a grain bin.
He'd been buried up to his neck in corn after falling into a large storage container. It happens so often that there's actually special equipment for this type of rescue. Firefighters placed a large plastic wall around him to hold the loose corn back until they could vacuum most of it away.
Oh, wow.
He had been buried up to his neck and covered to just below his mouth, a few more centimeters, and he would have suffocated.
Goodness.
Yeah, one of the dangers of farming, right?
But to have this equipment, because
Yeah.
this happens so much. Yeah, silos can be dangerous. All right, 1 half hour down. Lots more to come on a busy Monday on Morning Live. So stay with us. We'll see you after the break.